Greetings, everyone. Back in October of 2014, when I was doing my Halloween horror reviews from the Halloween set there, which is still up, by the way. Just a little bit of a mess over there. I'm going to tidy it up, and when we get to doing the actual movie reviews and stuff here, I'll be doing them over there, so we'll get a nice Halloween-y feel to it all year long. Anyway, when I was doing those reviews back in 2014, one of the things I had in the background is my old VHS tower, basically just a rotatable tower with, rows of VHS tapes on them. And some of you expressed interest in seeing what was on that tower, in particular the horror stuff. And I kept meaning to do it, kept putting it off, kept forgetting, kept getting sidetracked. Well, today we're gonna do it. Well, the first part of it anyway. There's a bunch of them, so I decided to split it into two parts. So this time around, we're going to take a look at the various TV shows. There's some cartoons in there. They're kind of horror related, and some horror and supernatural related TV show and TV special type stuff. And that'll be today on Fright Night Friday on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. Alrighty, VHS. Let's head on down to the floor and get an up-close and personal look at the remnants of my VHS horror collection. TV shows and cartoons today. We did that part already. Go, floor, now. Okay, here we go. So, we'll start off with a TV show set that I have on VHS. Longtime viewers may have seen this before. We got the 1990 to 91 version of Dark Shadows. Yes, now this is the original MPI home video VHS release, which actually is an extended version. It contains 14 minutes of additional footage. Now, I should mention, there's been a couple of DVD releases of this series, the first of which I did quite an angry rant video about because they had cropped it to 16:9, did not include the extended versions, and all the various day for night shots were unprocessed. So you had vampires walking around in broad daylight talking about the magic of the night. Like, come on, get it together. So that has since been somewhat rectified. There is a new DVD set out that does not have the image cropped. It's in its original uncropped 4:3 as it was shot and intended to be seen. However, once again, it does not have any of the extended cuts. Now, the only episodes that had extended cuts were the 2-hour pilot episode and the final episode. So, it'd be nice to have, have those on DVD. And apparently, the day for night shots are still unprocessed on the new version. But hey, at least it's uncropped, right? I don't know how hard it is. Like, can you just put it on DVD as it was done for the VHS releases? Like, really. The other thing is MPI had a really nice hour-long behind-the-scenes making of special that they released separately. Sadly, that's the one thing I don't have. I do have a fan-made recording of that, though, just to kind of tide me over in the meantime. But, but that never appeared either. I don't know why they didn't just let MPI do the DVD release, to be perfectly honest, because they've been the go-to company for all things Dark Shadows for decades now. I mean, they released the entire original and remake series on VHS several times over, and I've done countless specials and compilations of, best ofs and best episodes and all kinds of stuff. So I don't know why MGM decided on a whim to just snag the remake series away from them for the DVD release and not let them do it for the not let MPI do it. Seems kind of silly to me. Now, sadly, Dark Shadows, the revival only lasted one basically half season, the equivalent of 13 episodes. When it was originally shown, they showed the first, there was the pilot movie, which was like a 2-hour movie, and then they showed the first 2 episodes compiled together as a movie as well, and then the remaining episodes were shown individually. So it was basically, over the course of 11 weeks, they showed 13 hours worth of Dark Shadows. I really liked the Revival series a lot. I thought it was very, very well done. I mean, I'm a fan of the original as well. I haven't seen anywhere near all of the original series. The original series ran for 5 seasons and was 1,225 episodes, and it was really, really good. They were showing repeats of it on PBS around the time that this remake series originally aired. So I caught a bunch of the repeats there, and then I had some of the VHS tapes a while back. I don't anymore, sadly. But just to show you how it all looks on the shelf all together. Yeah! Bam! More Barnabas than you know what to do with. So there you go. That's all 12 episodes. In this case, it shows the episodes 2 and 3 as they were originally intended to be shown, just as 2 individual episodes. And there you go. So you have an extended version of the first episode and an extended version of the last episode, which is particularly nice given how short-lived it was. You just get a little bit more Dark Shadows to tide you over. All right, so next up, we get into kids show territory, but peripherally horror-related. We have my Real Ghostbusters VHS tapes. Yes, this is the original Magic Window VHS releases. This is one of the original pieces of promotional artwork for the Real Ghostbusters. Really nice to have that as the VHS cover. Love it. Now, the interesting thing about this was these videos were released, I guess, around the same time as the first season was airing. So they had already prepared a bunch of the second season episodes. These are all from, I believe, the syndicated second season. So it was the 65 episode second season that aired daily. At the same time, they also had a weekly second season, which aired on a different network. So it's kind of interesting that they did that. So I think it was ABC was broadcasting this. I can't remember. But anyway, so there was the weekly show, and then there was the daily show. So there was like basically 6 days a week you had Real Ghostbusters on TV. So at the time that most of these VHS releases came out, however, these particular episodes had not yet aired. So it was kind of cool that they were debuting on VHS. So you'd actually get to see them for the first time there. Now, as you can see, most of them are just single episode tapes. This was not uncommon back in the 80s. We didn't really get complete series sets of anything on video. It was very, very rare. And if you did get a complete series of something, it usually meant it would be spread across several volumes, and you'd be shelling out some big bucks for them. I think these videos here originally went for somewhere around 15 to 20 bucks a piece, just for a single episode. That was not uncommon. And then got some more single episodes here. You see they changed the cover design ever so slightly. They don't have the border around them anymore. Magic Window is an imprint of Columbia Pictures. RCA Columbia Pictures. Yeah, this is before, I guess, before Coca-Cola bought them, or did RCA buy them out? I guess RCA bought them after Coca-Cola. I don't know. I can't remember. But it seems like Columbia Pictures has been owned by everyone. They're owned by Sony now. So it seems like every major company in the world has had a piece of Columbia at some point or another. So here we get into, just brush the dust off there. Here we actually get into some multiple episode volumes, so a little bit better value. However, being more episodes, they would charge you more money. So you'd be looking at, I think on average, about 30 bucks for one of these. So still a better per episode cost value, but still, you know, freaking expensive because VHS. And then finally we have The Revenge of Murray the Mantis and other stories. So, yeah, so not very many episodes. And for the longest time, these VHS tapes were the only official releases we had of the Real Ghostbusters in any home video form. So if we take a look at the the spines here, you can see that each spine features a different character. So you got actually the 4 Ghostbusters there. You Got another one of Ray, and you got Slimer and Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So pretty cool. And then the other side, I think, is the other side is just a simplified version of the spine. So obviously these are the spines you would have facing out. So pretty cool. So even though I do have the complete series of Ghostbusters on DVD, I thought, yeah, what the heck? I'll get I'll hang on to my VHS tapes anyway because they're cool little display pieces and pieces of history. Here we have UFO, the Unsolved Mystery, released by Kodak. Yes, the film people. They did a handful of video releases as well. Now, interestingly enough, I remember this. The reason I bought this was because it was originally a live TV special called UFO Cover-Up Live. And I enjoy UFO stories. I don't know if I really believe a lot of them. Probably not, but, they're entertaining. But get this. It's hosted by Mike Farrell. Yes, BJ Honeycutt of MASH, hosting this UFO cover-up story. So anyway, the original broadcast on television was live, and I remember watching it when it was live. It was pretty cool. And they had like some phone-in stuff, like phone in and press 1 if you've ever encountered an alien encounter or seen a UFO, and things like that. So they kind of had little phone polls where people could call in and vote on and just sort of say whether or not they'd had an encounter or whatever. And then they gave the results at the end of the program. Now, because that involved the phone number and the fact that it was live, the video version cuts out all of the live stuff, and they changed the title to UFO: The Unsolved Mystery. So it actually would have run around 90 minutes originally, but cutting out all the live stuff, it runs 75. But that's okay. At least the main show is here. And nice little rarity for UFO story enthusiasts. Next up, we get into some movie stuff. Now, this is not her main series. This, I think, was just a direct-to-video series that she did. We have Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, the Midnight Madness collection. Now, this is a little different from her movie Macabre, where with movie Macabre, she basically, she does an intro and an outro before and after the movie, but she also comes in during the movie and gives, snide remarks and comments and whatnot. This is a little different. This one was kind of, half-assed, where basically she does she does an intro at the beginning and then gives her final thoughts after the movie, and that's it. That's all you see of Elvira in the whole thing. So, not one of her better efforts. I definitely prefer movie Macabre, but but any Elvira is good to have, even if only in small doses. So they had the Hideous Sun Demon there, and here, of course, we have the all-time classic, I Eat Your Skin. Great stuff. Yeah, I really need to get more Elvira stuff in my collection. There's been a whole bunch of DVDs released of the old and new movie Macabre, and I would love to get all of those because Elvira's awesome. Speaking of TV shows on VHS and the horror genre, we have, of course, Freddy's Nightmares, the series. Yes, I mentioned this when I got to the Nightmare on Elm Street stuff on in the DVD Blu-ray overview. There was a handful of VHS releases of Freddy's Nightmares, of which this is one. They released maybe 6 or so episodes, some from season 1, some from season 2. This is a season 2 episode entitled Lucky Stiff, and good stuff. And then we have It's My Party and You'll Die If I Want You To. And there you go. So, pretty cool. I should be giving you a look at the stickers on the actual things, shouldn't I? So that's what the Freddy's Nightmares looks like. Just kind of a plain Warner Brothers sticker with a rental sticker over it. How about this one? Is this... Yeah, you can see this one a little bit better. Warner Home Video. And these are just 1-hour tapes, so they don't have much on them. Oh, from Video Giant. Oh, there it is. Please be kind. Rewind. There you go. It does actually exist, folks. And then Elvira, we'll just quick. I'm not going to show you all of them, but Elvira, just fairly straightforward. There we go. I'm not going to show you all of them. Just a few. UFO cover-up. Anything exciting here? What do Kodak ones look like? Oh, wow. Yeah, that's about as plain as it gets. And apparently I wasn't kind to my... And of course it's on a Kodak video cassette, naturally. I actually bought a lot of Kodak video cassettes. Yeah, clearly I need to rewind that. Well, who knew? I don't even remember the last time I watched that. And if I just grab one of the real Ghostbusters ones here. Oh, a little tight in there. There we go. See the Magic Window label there. I was going to say, actually, I forgot, I got kind of sidetracked. Magic Window released a lot of other cartoons, such as they released a whole bunch of He-Man and She-Ra. They released almost the entire series of Jason the Wheeled Warriors and Adventures of the Galaxy Rangers. Yeah, see, these ones I like. I like how MPI does this, where they actually do like the heat printing on it, or whatever, the actual ink on it. I have quite a few VHS tapes that did that. And the thing I like about that is, of course, a lot of the times with the stickers, they would dry up or peel off if the glue wasn't particularly good. But I really like how they did this one when they would do them like that, because then, of course, those don't really wear off at all, ever. What else do we got here? We'll just do a few more, and then I think we're going to take this to a part 2, because this is going on a lot longer than I expected. Next up, we have, speaking of horror hosts, and I should have done this right after the Elvira one, actually, we have Horrible Horror, hosted by Zachary. Now, this was from an old library one, basically. You know, the libraries often have videos and then get rid of them. Well, this was one of those. So, Horrible Horror. So, basically, this is a nearly 2-hour compilation of horror movie clips and trailers and bits and pieces, all hosted by Zachary, who was basically a horror movie host, I guess, in the 70s or 80s. And, yeah, I'd never heard of him before, but but he's a lot of fun. This is basically, it's described as the ultimate party tape. It's kind of something you want to put on around Halloween and stuff. I haven't actually watched this in a million years. I really got to do that again. Oh, from good old HGV Home Video. Yeah, there we go. Good stuff. And again, apparently I haven't rewound it since 20 years ago when I last watched it. Yeah, I'll have to do that. Alrighty, folks. I think we're going to call this the end of part 1. So, yeah. Alrighty, so some pretty cool stuff. Definitely some cool stuff. Yeah, there's a lot more Dark Shadows out there that I would love to get into the collection. There's a beautiful coffin set, like a boxed set of the complete original series. All 1,225 episodes in this massive box set. There's like 150 discs or something crazy like that. It's not cheap, obviously. I don't know when I'll be able to get that, but it's definitely on the must-get list. I think I mentioned before, the original series the remake series has been re-released without the cropping, but still has some other issues. And yeah, and then MPI Home Video has countless specials and best ofs and stuff like that. I just love me some Dark Shadows. It's such a great, story. A gothic horror soap opera. I mean, come on, how awesome is that? Anyway, that is it for part 1 of the look at the VHS horror collection. Next time, we'll actually take a look at the various movies and stuff that I've got on VHS. Some of which, honestly, I don't know why I keep them, because they've been released on DVD, but hey, what the heck. The box art's cool. I think that's the reason most of us keep our VHSs, because the box art's cool. Makes a cool display piece. Anyway, we'll take a look at those next time on next week's Friday Night Friday. So until then, I'd just like to say a quick thank you to my Patreon sponsors. So hey, thanks Patreon sponsors. You guys and gals are awesome. Big thanks to Kyle Pellegrin, my current highest level sponsor. Really appreciate the continued support and all of you helping to make this happen on a much more regular basis. So really appreciate that. So please do consider becoming a sponsor if you haven't already, because it all goes right back into the show and just allows me to do this a lot more for you. Alrighty, that is it from me to you for now. So until next time, thanks for watching, and sayonara.